Well, John Mayer has gone and added something new to his pedalboard that he's using for the current John Mayer solo tour. This mystery device we're going to be discussing in today's video, and hopefully you guys might be able to help me out in actually confirming what it is. So let's get into today's video. Alright, so this device was not originally on John's pedalboard. It was added afterwards and after the tour had actually begun. I believe for the second show is when he put this on his board. Now, upon first glance, it definitely looks like it's some sort of switcher. It has 4 switches that kind of are in almost a V pattern, and then what looks like a screen in the dead center of the device. Now, it's easy to say that this is probably some sort of MIDI switcher, maybe, I don't know what this is. If we could figure out actually what this device is, which is kind of the whole point of this video, then it'd be really easy to kind of maybe pinpoint exactly how John is using it. But it's got 4 switches on it and they all light up. And upon first glance, it looked like something that Line 6 would make, just the way the light up switches are and everything, but it's nothing that Line 6 makes. It's nothing that Line 6 has in their product catalog. So that kind of rules that out. Then I've started to look at stuff that, Custom Audio Electronics make. Bob Bradshaw made lots of stuff for John in the past. It's nothing that they make. I've gone through lots of different brands and I can't find an exact match. Radial actually makes something that's kind of close up. My friend the London guitarist was kind of jokingly having a theory where he's like, oh yeah, John probably just changed out the center piece on this device, then made it all black like he's been doing with other pedals, and we had a good laugh over that, but it's nothing that Radial makes either, although that is the closest thing that actually looks like this device. Now, one thing to keep in mind with this is that it's on the acoustic pedal board. Now, it could be just for spacing wise, because this one image you guys are seeing on your screen, you actually see John has added a Strymon timeline off to the left side of the electric pedal board. So he's added an even bigger delay that can do a lot more to the electric pedal board. But this switcher actually sits on the acoustic pedal board. Now, originally there was just a big space on this board before this device was added to the board. Now, did he just throw that on there because it fit perfectly, and is it actually for the electric guitars or is it for the acoustics? This, at this time, we don't know. I've tried to find footage of John stepping on this device during the shows, and I can't. If you guys see any, please let me know in the comments down below, or send it to me on Instagram DMs through my Instagram at JustinJeskiGuitar, and let me know, because that would also help us try and figure out what this is. But it's kind of just become a point of frustration for me, because it's one thing I'm just looking at and I can't figure out what the hell this thing is. There was at one point a brief moment of, oh, I think we might have a good clue as to what this might be, because when John posted a specific photo to his Instagram, you actually saw what looked like a logo on the back of the pedal, and at first it kind of almost looked like V Boutique's logo, like a circle with something in the middle of it, but is that actually a logo on the back of it? It's really hard to say, and I don't know any company's logo that looks quite like what's on the back of this pedal. So the theory of that being an actual logo has kind of been thrown out the window as well. It doesn't really line up with anything. So at this point, the best thing that I can at least tell you guys is that this is something custom built for John. But why would he have a custom amp switcher or a custom MIDI switcher built? There are so many great brands out there making these products. It would seem like it'd be quite a hassle for him to actually get something built like that, especially small with only 4 switches on it and a screen in the middle. It seemed like that'd be a lot of work to get something custom built when there are so many options that would work great for either MIDI switching or amp switching. But with that said, if he's doing amp switching, it would be for the electric guitar rig, not the acoustic guitar rig, because we know John just goes direct in for the acoustic guitars. That's kind of what he does. He doesn't actually use an amplifier at all. Now, in terms of the guitar amps, I still haven't made that video. It's going to be coming out very soon, I promise you guys, but knowing John, he doesn't really do amp switching at all, and he's only got 2 amps actually on stage, and what appears to be something backing up behind the 2-rock cabinet. There appears to be a backup amplifier just kind of sitting there in case something happens, but an amp switcher doesn't really make much sense to me, at least in the context of this tour, especially when he's barely playing the electric guitar. He's doing maybe 2 songs on electric guitar a night, if that, really. So an amp switcher I don't really buy into. I think it might have something to do with effects for one of the guitars in the rack, probably the acoustic if it's on the acoustic board. maybe even something to do with vocals as well. It's really difficult to say at this point. So essentially the hope here is that one of you guys can help figure out what this device actually is. If you know a company that makes something like this with light up switches and this layout with a screen in the middle, who knows? And then maybe we can figure out what John's using it for, if we get any good footage as well. Again, if you guys see any good footage of him using it from the side of the stage, let me know, and please send that to me. Again, that'll help kind of solve the mystery of what this actually is doing. But even just the device itself looks really cool, and I'd be really interested to know what it is. The switches that all light up with the screen in the middle, it looks very compact, and if you're looking to do any sort of MIDI switching or looping, it looks like it'd be something really cool to use, although I'm not sure that that's exactly what's going on. Even speaking of MIDI switching, I know the H90, I'm not sure if he could be using that as an external switcher for the H90. I'm not very familiar with H90 at all, but that's, as I'm literally filming this right now, that's something else that's popping into my head is, what if that's just additional presets for the H90, although I'm not sure the H90 actually needs that, kind of like what you could do with the H9. I know someone like Ariel Posen uses a Morningstar to actually have some additional presets for the H9 when he's using it live, so I'm not sure the H90 needs that, but that's also something possible as well. That's just literally coming through my head right now, guys. It could be something to do with that as well. I'm just trying to throw theories out here because I've been, wrapping my head around this thing for a while, and I've come up with nothing, more or less. So now I'm making a video essentially telling you guys, I don't know what this is, but if you guys do, that'd be awesome. It'd be great to help figure this thing out. So anyways, you guys, other than that, the pedal boards are looking essentially the same. The only other addition, which I mentioned earlier, is the addition of that Strymon timeline, which I'm assuming is for the electric pedal board just off to the left-hand side there. Who knows, if John starts adding anything else, we might see a second, almost like sidecar, I guess, added to the electric pedal board. And for the standing section on tour, he might have 3 actual boards in front of him, which could be cool, but he definitely doesn't have any more room for that electric pedal board. So anything else gets added, I feel like we'll see an actual pedal board get built, and at that point, maybe John will just be like, well, I have all this room. So may as well add this and may as well add that as well, which could be fun. Adding more effects that might lead to some other cool performances and experimentation on tour. So you guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you're enjoying the solo tour. It's a really great time to be a John Mayer fan with lots of cool stuff going on and great stuff hopefully coming for NAMM 2023 in only a couple weeks here. So yeah, it's going to be a really exciting time, and stay tuned to the YouTube channel for all the John Mayer NAMM coverage as well, because there will be some things I will definitely be discussing closer to. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet and you guys have been considering it and you've watched this video all the way up until this point, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It helps me out, helps my channel grow to more people and spread this information and my content to them. And if you watch this point, you're already going to get recommended my content, so please just consider subscribing. And if you do like it, hit that bell button as well, because subscribing isn't enough to get notified of when I make a new video. You got to hit that bell button as well. I know it's kind of dumb, but it's the way YouTube works. And until next time, you guys, thank you as always so much for watching today's video. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you see.